Stay ahead of your child's moderate to severe eczema, and they can show off clearer skin and less itch with Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists that helps heal your child's skin from within. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your child's eczema specialist about Dupixent.
Tomorrow on ET, Bridgerton Season 3 scoop.
It's a spicy one.
Colin, you got some splaining to do.
We're going to leave you now with our Gina Rodriguez exclusive.
Yeah, our Deidre Behar was with Gina, feeling a little mom guilt at her big premiere. Night, everybody.
My son is right now falling asleep without me. But the truth is that when you are a part of something this phenomenal, that's when you let.
Happening now.
A man accused in a brutal murder in court today, trying to get his confession suppressed from trial. We'll take you inside the courtroom to hear some of his confession.
The clouds have arrived. Now we're waiting on the rain. We'll talk about when that's going to hit and how much we'll get, along with a chilly weekend in just a bit.
And a Democrat wins in a special election to replace disgraced Republican George Santos. How this changes the GOP's control in the House and upcoming bill battles on Capitol Hill. The news at 5 starts right now.
At first at 5, a man accused of a horrific murder in court today, trying to get his confession removed as evidence from being a part of evidence shown in his trial. Andres Tarnava, charged with the murder of Marisol Klingelhofer.
Erica Hernandez takes us inside the courtroom as attorneys question those involved in the arrest and the questioning of Tarnava. We do want to warn you, some of the details in this case are graphic.
The confession of Andres Tarnava in question today. Tarnava is accused of fatally shooting Marisol Klingelhofer back in April 2021. According to the arrest affidavit, Tarnava confessed to not only shooting Klingelhofer, but dismembering her body and burning her remains in a barrel. Klingelhofer had been reported missing by her family, but Texas Rangers eventually started investigating the case as a murder after getting a tip. The state in court asking the lead investigator if proper procedures were conducted before Tarnava was questioned.
Do you remember if prior to any questioning, the defendant was properly Miranda?
Yes, he was.
Did the defendant waive the trust?
Yes, he did.
The almost 8-hour video, only shown in part, shows the exact moment Tarnava says why he killed Klingelhofer.
I'd rather die standing like a man before I let somebody come get something of my father's. She took the one thing of my father that I truly wanted to keep.
A ruling on this motion to suppress the confession wasn't made, as the judge has to go back and look at the entire interrogation video before making a decision. Tarnava is expected to go to trial at the end of March. Now, because he is a habitual offender, if he is found guilty, he would be sentenced anywhere from 25 to 99 years or life in prison. At the Cadena Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
New at 5 this Valentine's Day, there's certainly no love lost between feuding neighbors. This afternoon, police say an argument escalated and bullets started flying. Police tell us the victim shot by his neighbor that lives about a block away from his house. Officers say, according to the victim, he was driving on River Road when his neighbor walked up to his vehicle to confront him. They say the suspect then pulled out a gun and shot the victim in the arm. The victim drove to his home on East Woodlawn Avenue, called police. We're told he was taken to the hospital with a non-life-threatening injury. The suspect arrested at his home. Police say both men are believed to be in their 60s and have a history and a contentious relationship. The shooting is still under investigation tonight.
A 65-year-old man is dead after a driver struck and killed him. That driver now wanted by police because they didn't bother to stop and help. San Antonio police say this happened at the intersection of Graff Road and South Presa Street, not far from Research Plaza. Investigators say the victim had been riding his bike on a nearby trailhead and was attempting to cross the road when he was hit by that passing motorist. That person just kept driving. Police arrived at the scene and found the man laying in the road unresponsive. They say he died at the scene. No arrests have been made so far, and police are still investigating.
Not just Valentine's, today is Ash Wednesday, the official start of the Lenten season leading up to Easter Sunday. Some of the faithful making their way to San Fernando Cathedral downtown to receive ashes on their foreheads. The ashes made from the palm branches that were blessed on Palm Sunday last year. During Lent, the faithful acknowledge the sacrifice of Christ by offering repentance or giving up something as a form of penance. This year, Easter falls on March 31st.
Well, instead of going to the chapel, some sweethearts ready to commit went to the courthouse to get married this Valentine's Day. Make that outside the steps of the courthouse. The annual tradition here in San Antonio continued last night. A county judge officiated the midnight mass wedding, with the first 50 couples receiving a rose donated by a local flower shop. 4 more mass weddings happened today, but taking part in these ceremonies wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. Couples had to have their marriage licenses from the clerk's office 72 hours before wedding time. Congratulations. Look at all those happy couples.
And if you're venturing out to celebrate this evening, it's going to be A-OK. We just have the low gray clouds overhead. It looks like it could rain at any moment. It's not going to. And if you don't mind temperatures near 60 degrees, you can even have dinner outdoors. We started the day at 44, then we made it to 64 for the high temperature. Right now with some sunshine along the Rio Grande, 68 Del Rio, 70 Eagle Pass. Meanwhile, Kerrville, Daniel's backyard, at only 59 degrees with the thicker clouds, 65 Lavernia, Seguin now at 67. And as we go through the evening, temperatures falling down to near 60 at 8 o'clock. Then by midnight, we're in the mid 50s, and that's where we're going to stay tonight. And then fog's going to develop after midnight. You'll notice it for the morning commute tomorrow, but more importantly, we have some rain around the corner. We'll talk about that when it arrives and how much we could get along with a chilly weekend in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. Today, Democrats celebrating a big win with a special election to replace disgraced Republican George Santos, who was expelled from Congress over ethics violations. The victory in New York State creates an even tighter Republican margin in the House and could prove critical in upcoming bill battles.
Our Washington correspondent Julia Benbrook joins us live from the White House with how the special election results impact the bigger picture in Washington. Julia?
Well, the results of this special election narrow the already thin House majority, but also provide lessons for both parties as they prepare for the general election. Suburban voters, like those in the 3rd Congressional District there in New York, are expected to play a big role in both the presidential election and the race to control the House. Democrat Tom Suozzi wins a high-stakes special election on Long Island, beating out the Republican candidate Mazi Pilip. Suozzi, who has previously served in Congress, pitched himself as a moderate Democrat and centered his campaign on the economy and immigration.
They want us to come together and solve problems. So now we have to carry the message of this campaign to the United States Congress and across our entire country.
His win flips the seat previously held by disgraced Republican Congressman George Santos from red to blue. While Suozzi's victory does not change the control of the House, it does further shrink the House GOP's narrow majority. In his victory speech, Suozzi said he thinks the win sends a message.
To our friends running the Congress these days, stop running around for Trump and start running the country.
The Biden campaign celebrated in a statement saying, quote, when Republicans run on Trump's extreme agenda, even in a Republican-held seat, voters reject them. But speaking to the president's low approval rating right now, Suozzi kept his distance from Biden during the race.
If he ends up being the Democratic candidate, I'm likely to support him, yes.
The president and the first lady called Suozzi to congratulate him on the win Tuesday night. Now, Suozzi's victory will have an immediate impact on Capitol Hill, where House Republicans recently made the historic decision to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. The vote to impeach Mayorkas passed by just one vote. Reporting live at the White House, Julia Benbrook, KSAT 12 News.
Julia, immigration, a big talking point in this special election. It's going to be in a lot of elections coming up. Obviously, it continues to be an issue on Capitol Hill. How was Suozzi able to successfully address the issue during his campaign?
Well, that's right. Many voters in that 3rd congressional district there in New York said that immigration was a top issue in Tuesday's special election. It dominated the airwaves as well. Swazi and his allies published 5 ads focused on this topic, and then his opponent and people that were supporting her published at least 9. And so really was a key part of the conversation in an area where Republicans pushed Swazi. He campaigned, though, off of this idea that he wanted to find bipartisan solutions, including on border security. And he was able to point to that border security bill in the Senate that Republicans said that they really wanted to see and then ultimately walked away from.
The border, obviously a huge issue. Thank you so much, Julia Benbrook, reporting live to us from Washington. Let's head now to news around Texas. A chaotic scene at a hospital emergency room in Austin when a car slammed right inside the building. The driver was killed and 5 others were hurt, including 2 children.
Yeah, we brought it to you last night on the Night Beat. First, ABC's Rena Roy reports authorities have released the name of the driver and given an update on the conditions of those that were injured.
A car screeching and smoke filling the air at St. David's North Austin Medical Center in Texas after police say a driver slammed into the emergency waiting area just after 5:30 Tuesday evening.
We have CPR in progress at the ER site right here.
The driver dying and 5 others injured, including 2 children.
The driver of the sedan, Michelle Holloway, crashed her vehicle into the emergency room waiting area. 3 adults and 2 juveniles that were in the waiting room area were injured and taken to different hospitals for treatment. Some of their injuries were serious but non-life-threatening. Holloway was later pronounced deceased at North Austin Medical Center.
I saw taillights of a vehicle buried deep into the lobby. I could hear tires spinning, and there was some glass and water on the ground.
This dramatic video shows a baby being passed to safety as another person is pulled from the rubble. Good Samaritans lowering them to the ground before picking them up again and carrying them away. Stephen Hughes was waiting for his wife, who was in emergency surgery, when the car came barreling through.
Just beside the vehicle, I see a woman that's maybe knocked over. She was maybe in a wheelchair or something. I see a couple of people helping her up, and there was a young child that was near her.
And police say the crash does not appear to be intentional. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Check out traffic right now in San Antonio, 1604 at Northwest Military, and you can see it is very slow going. I believe these are the westbound lanes of Loop 1604 at Northwest Military. People trying to get on, but a lot of construction going on in that area right now as you head towards 1604 and I-10.
Yep, definitely take your time out there. All right, still ahead on KSAT News at 5. KSAT is celebrating Black History Month. A new exhibit opens that captures some of the many faces and emotions of the Black community. We're talking with an artist about his inspiration and where you, along with thousands of others, can see his creations for yourself.
I'm Myra Arthur here in the newsroom, and here's what we're working on for the news at 6 o'clock today. An arrest and past financial troubles for the head of a city workforce training program. It's a story we first brought you yesterday at 6. Today, we took our questions directly to the city manager. We'll have his response. Also at 6, a young mother battles a rare blood disease, and her fiance stepped up to donate his kidney. Now, 2 years later, the couple sits down to share their emotional story of love and sacrifice on this Valentine's Day. Plus,
this was a place for the Black community when they weren't allowed in other spaces.
Exactly. To honor and celebrate Black history, you have to know that it exists. In a new KSAT Explains, we take you to 3 places working to preserve and share the history of our local African American community. It's all today on the news at 6.
Thank you, Myra. A local artist displaying his latest work in an atmosphere of higher learning. The collection celebrates Black History Month by featuring moments of real life and real emotions.
Our Tiffany Huerta spoke to the artist about what it means to him to share art at a location where thousands of students will pass through.
I did this series because there's almost a lack of emotions almost for Black children that is not, it's kind of hid, you know, it's almost like you have to be this certain way.
In his latest art exhibit, Caldrick Dow says he focused on emotion and the everyday life of the Black community.
This was really a focus on, just relaxing at home, doing what you do, reading the Bible or chilling with your family, watching TV. So that's what I really wanted to emphasize on these, but then show like textures and make it interesting.
It's Dow's second time showcasing his artwork at San Antonio College. This year, the exhibit is titled Expressions of Identity, African American Portraits.
You're just creating, and you gotta do things that keep you interested. So if you're only thinking about the selling, then you won't be interested anymore.
We've already seen some students ask you questions about your artwork. What does it mean to you to have this exhibit here at the college?
I think it's a perfect place to be because you have inquisitive minds, who's coming to learn. So when you walk in and you're able to see art, it's like you want to know more.
The exhibit is located at the 4th floor of the Moody Learning Center. It's open through the end of Black History Month. Dow says it's a month for celebration and reflection.
In the past, we weren't really allowed to express ourselves and we couldn't really show our creativity or get credit for it. So now today, I think it's more of an emphasis on our creativity and almost negating that and showing, that we have creativity and we're able to show it in institutions and really be highlighted.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
And on top of all that, a very talented artist.
Oh my goodness, I could not believe the
capturing the
skill.
emotions, the faces. Yeah, it was great.
Amazing. Got to go look at that in person. You also have to see the sky in person. It's coming for us.
Yeah, you're right. The gray rolled in today, and it's going to be the dominant color all the way through Saturday, so get used to it. Yeah, we'll have a few peaks of sunshine tomorrow, but not a whole lot. Let's get right to our rain chances. I want to jump right in because now the clouds are here. We're waiting on the rain. Tomorrow, only 20%. Thursday or tomorrow night, we're up to 40%. Then on Friday, that's our peak at 60%. So scattered to widespread, and still notice some scattered activity into Friday night. Come Saturday morning, it really starts to taper off. So here's the big picture and the setup that we have ongoing right now. The clouds have moved in. This activity coming in from the Pacific, a lot of moisture and energy associated with this right now. You can see the clouds coming in off the Pacific and over Mexico and into our neck of the woods, but there's also some good energy embedded within it, and it's going to amplify in terms of the energy. Now, you look at the water vapor imagery, and these purples indicate the most amount of moisture in the mid and upper levels, and that's starting to increase, and you see this plume near Cabo San Lucas. That's going to be moving our way. In turn, this is going to lead to the scattered to widespread activity mainly throughout the day on Friday. It's going to pick up a little bit tomorrow night, but for the most part on Friday. And take a look at the futurecast. I mean, it just paints a broad brush of very light rain with a few moderate showers, but for the most part, we're looking at light rain off and on in nature throughout the day on Friday, even lingering into Friday night. And then by Saturday morning, the activity really starts to taper off and come to an end. Now, as for the overall rainfall potential, very similar to what we were talking about even yesterday. Locally, about 1/4 to 1/2 inch, but the farther south you go, the higher the accumulations will be. Cotulla, Laredo, McAllen, Corpus Christi, that area there, about 1 to 2 inches of rain. So it's coming in from the south, moving northward. San Antonio and the Hill Country is going to be on the edge of that rain plume. And in turn, because it's coming in from the south, it's going to rain longer farther to the south. That's why they'll have the potential of about 1 to 2 inches. Around here, not quite as fortunate. Temperature right now at 64, dew point 54. They'll be meeting tonight. That's going to give us some patchy fog for tomorrow morning. Across the state, 60s and 70s, but don't get too used to it. Get ready for a big change by this weekend. Tomorrow morning, we're in the mid-50s to start the day. By the afternoon, cloudy at 73. Rain chances picking up after tomorrow at sunset. And tomorrow night into Friday is when the rain chances peak, as we were talking about earlier. Look at our temperature trend really quickly. This weekend, a high temperature on Saturday of only 50 degrees. We'll talk more about that cold front, the weekend weather, and a weatherversary today at 6 o'clock. Very important.
Oh, okay.
Weatherversary.
What a tease.
Yeah, what do you get for a weatherversary? You get an Adam story.
Yeah.
All right, let's go live to Dallas right now where Larry Ramirez is joining us. Spurs still on their rodeo road trip. Maybe they've got a little momentum going into this game, Larry.
Yeah, and you know what, Steve? They really want to keep that momentum going. They would love nothing more than to beat the Mavs tonight, hit the break on a 2-game winning streak. You know that would be very important for this young squad. Coming up, speaking of young, Victor Wembanyama joined a list that David Robinson is on. You know that's got to be cool. And Luka Doncic, the Mavs leading scorer at last check, listed as probable. That dude is dealing with a lot. Coming up after the break.
I mean, look, I guess it's not on the scouting report that he can block, that he's blocking shots. But I mean, I don't know. I guess they'll learn one of these days.
That's Devin talking about the fact players keep challenging Victor, a shot blocking machine in big board sports. Good evening, everybody, and welcome live to the American Airlines Center here in Dallas, where tonight the Spurs will take on the Mavericks as San Antonio gets ready to shut down the first leg of their annual rodeo road trip. And you know they want to win back-to-back before they hit that all-star break. So Wemby and the Spurs come to downtown feeling much better about themselves after beating the Raptors Monday night 122-99. And in that game, Victor was a one-man wrecking crew with 27 points, 14 rebounds, and a career-high 10 blocks. And he did it all in just 29 minutes. He's now the fourth rookie in NBA history to record a triple-double with 10 blocks, and the first since Spurs great David Robinson did it in 1990. Vic didn't know much about the Admiral growing up, but now he does.
Not much growing up, you know. It's of course it's you know, before my time, but since I'm with the Spurs, I've learned a little bit about him and watched a little bit of tape. So it's I mean, yeah, it's great company, you know, to have my name next to him, and I guess it counts even more since it's family, you know. It's from the Spurs, from San Antonio.
Yeah, you know what? All in the family. You got to love it, right? So as for the Mavs leading scorer, Luka Doncic, at last check, he was listed as probable for tonight's game against the Spurs, and he is dealing with a lot. Listen to this. He's playing with a broken nose, and he's also dealing with back soreness and getting stitches on his chin during Monday's victory against the Washington Wizards. Even with a broken nose, Luka started each of the last 6 games, and he is still playing great basketball.
Stitches in the nose. He's rolling with the face right now, and so I don't know if he's going to wear a mask, but we're a physical team, the Mavs. That's who we're physical. Now, all the cuts and broken noses that we have, you should see the other guys. But, you know, the physicality, Luka's right now taking a couple hits. He got stitches, but he'll be fine.
Luka's more like a hockey player. The Mavs will host the Spurs tonight at 7:30, and Dallas leads the regular season series 2-0. And coming up at 6 o'clock, Wemby will talk about playing All-Star Weekend. Guys, back to you in San Antonio.
All right, thank you, Larry.
We'll be right back.
We'll see you at 6.